What is up, everybody? How's it going? It's your boy Chiefs Rays Bolts coming at you with a quarantined video. Yes, as we all know, the sports world has been put on a hiatus due to the COVID-19 coronavirus. And yes, while this sucks for literally everybody, we have to find a way to work through it, right? So, I've gotten a few suggestions in the last day or two asking to make a video about the free agency, all right? And it has been a crazy one this year for the NFL. Like, literally, the 2020 NFL free agency has been on crack cocaine. But you know what? Let's just get right into it, all right? I'm just gonna skip all the little this and that. I mean, I guess we could talk about DeAndre Hopkins, right? DeAndre Hopkins has been traded from the Texans to the Arizona Cardinals in return for David Johnson. I think this one shocked me just as much as everybody else. DeAndre Hopkins, a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL, arguably the best, being traded away for practically nothing. But, there has been reports of him and head coach Bill O'Brien not getting along, so that could be a part of it. I really don't know why Bill O'Brien hasn't been fired yet. He is an awful coach, chokes all the time, and I think if I was a Texans fan, I would be livid that he's still the head coach. But that was the DeAndre Hopkins trade, okay? Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills. That one was big too. And the Minnesota Vikings got a lot more in return for Stephon Diggs than the Texans did for DeAndre Hopkins. So the Buffalo Bills, they get Stephon Diggs and a 2020 7th round pick. They gave the Vikings a 2020 first round, a 2020 5th round, a 2020 6th round, and a 2021 4th round. Holy draft picks, right? And that was for Stephon Diggs. I can't imagine what the Bills would have given up for DeAndre Hopkins instead. But they got their guy. They got Stephon Diggs. Good for them. All right, and those are like the two big guys for like receivers. All right, let's just move on to what everybody wants to hear me talk about. The quarterbacks, all right? So first things first, Drew Brees. Drew Brees, he's been contemplating retiring, and, it was thought that, hey, maybe he does retire. But he's decided to return to the New Orleans Saints on a 2-year contract, and I bet you he retires at the end of this. And you know what? Brees did the right thing. He's spent most of his career in New Orleans. He'll be a for sure Hall of Famer. He'll be a legend in New Orleans. So he did the right thing by re-signing with them and just end his career in NOLA. So that's that, all right. The New Orleans Saints, they keep Drew Brees. Good for them. He's not, even though he's past his prime, he's still a great quarterback for, his age right now. I think he'll continue to be good for these next 2 years. Teddy Bridgewater from the Saints to the Panthers seeking to trade Cam Newton. While Cam Newton hasn't been traded or signed with another team yet, he's still a Panther. We can assume that he will be on a different squad at some point before the start of the season. Because the way it looks is that the Panthers want to move forward with Teddy Bridgewater. They want to have him as a starter, and he'll be an upgrade from Cam Newton, I think. Cam Newton, he was a really good quarterback his first couple seasons with the Panthers. Took him to Super Bowl 50. The problem with Cam Newton is he can't stay healthy. Cam Newton has a hard time staying healthy, and that hurts him. It's just like the Andrew Luck situation with Indianapolis. I mean, yeah, he's a good quarterback, but goddamn, can he ever not get injured for one season? Can you just stay healthy, dude? Who knows? But Teddy Bridgewater, I think, personally, is a better quarterback than Cam Newton, and I think he'll be an upgrade for the Panthers. Nick Foles! What a roller coaster it has been for the Jacksonville Jaguars just in 3 seasons. So they go from minutes away from Blake Bortles taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to the Super Bowl, barely got edged out by the Patriots in that AFC Championship. That was a fun year looking back on it. Not for the Chiefs at all. That was a bad year for the Chiefs. But, from an NFL fan perspective, that was a fun playoff year. Seeing Jacksonville go on a run like that, making it all the way to the AFC Championship, almost took down the New England Patriots. They were so close. It was a fun year. And so the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have that to look back on, all right? That was Blake Bortles. The next year, they thought, oh, look, we're good. We're going to go right back. They didn't even make the playoffs that next year. And then the next year, they traded for Nick Foles. They got Nick Foles. He got injured in the first game of the season. Didn't come back until late in the season, and at that point, they were already playing Gardner Minshew. Nick Foles, he comes to Jacksonville, and he signs this massive contract, and he plays how many games? Like 4 or 5? You can correct me if I'm off, but it was around 4 or 5 games that he started for Jacksonville, and now he's already been traded to the Chicago Bears. And so it's just what a roller coaster it's been for Jaguars and their fans. I can't imagine being a Jaguars fan. It must suck going from Bortles to Foles to Minshew in like 2 years. But, you know, that's football, right? Anything can happen. All right, so Nick Foles, now a Chicago Bear. This is the funny thing, right? Bears seem to already be giving up on Mitchell Trubisky. After 2 seasons with him, they're giving up on him. 2 or 3 seasons. I think it's 2 seasons he's started now for them. But oh my God, if I was a Bears fan, I'd contemplate suicide, man. To have the 3rd overall pick and to choose Mitchell Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. Ooh, you know what? The Bears front office, who was in control in the 2017 draft, nobody from that office should ever have a job in the NFL ever again. Oh my God. Like I said, it's been a roller coaster for Jaguars fans, but woo, they do not have it as bad as the Bears fans. They would have won the Super Bowl had they gotten Mahomes or Watson, especially with that top 5 defense that they've had. They would have done a lot better with one of those 2 quarterbacks. Mitchell Trubisky, not the answer. And just after 2 seasons, looks like they're giving up on him. He's going to become the backup. They're going to have Nick Foles as starter. Here we go. Nick Foles, now a Bear, and I guess that's how Chicago's going forward with it. Phillip Rivers leaves the Los Angeles Chargers and becomes an Indianapolis Colt. You know, it's funny because to me it seems like Chargers fans, yeah, I know a few, surprising, right? It seems to me that they were frustrated with Rivers, like he's been way out of his prime. I'm not a Chargers fan, so I don't really follow him or his stats, but, you know, the Chargers, they finished 4th place in the AFC West this last season, and so that something tells me, you know, something's off. You know, Rivers, he's always been in the pain in the ass for the Chiefs. There's no doubt about that, all right? He's been an elite quarterback throughout his career. Maybe not so much anymore, but he has been. And he is a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. He doesn't have any Super Bowl rings to show for, but, you know, that's part of that is to blame for Spanos. Spanos is an incompetent owner. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And just the whole way that franchise is run is garbage. And so you can't really blame Rivers for not bringing the Chargers any Super Bowl wins. I'd say that's on the ownership. But you know what? Rivers, he's going to have to move him and his 25 kids all the way to Indianapolis, and, you know, he becomes the starter. Indianapolis had 1 year with Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett, he was average, I'd say, with the Colts, and, you know, the Colts don't want it anymore. So they're moving on with Phillip Rivers, and, you know, Phillip Rivers is towards the back end of his career now. He's probably got 2 or 3 more years in him. So, you know, I think the Colts now become a playoff team. They already were with Andrew Luck. They could have been with Jacoby Brissett, but they had some injuries to deal with. You know, I see them returning to the playoffs, especially since the CBA proposal was just approved, and the playoff field is expanding from 12 to 14 teams, right? So now you have that extra AFC slot in there, and I can see the Colts slipping in. What is like the main story that Twitter and Instagram and just the entire media will not stop talking about? I don't even have to. You already know who it is. It's Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, this has been announced for like a full 24 hours now, and I look at this picture of him in a Bucs uniform, even though it's just a drawing, and it seems like something you'd see on a meme page. It seems like something that you'd see a Bucs fan fantasize over. You know, it's so hard for me to believe that this is a reality. Tom Brady is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. It's just insane to me. I genuinely cannot believe that Tom Brady wouldn't just sign a 2-year contract with the Patriots, who he's been with since he was drafted by them in 2000, 20 years ago. I can't believe he would just leave them for his final 2 seasons. That is incredible to me. I thought for sure he would end his career there. And there's no doubt that his stats are descending. He's not the quarterback he used to be. In fact, he had the same quarterback rating in 2019 as Jameis Winston, which says a lot. But the thing with Tom Brady, he knows how to make smart plays. That's Jameis Winston doesn't. He just throws it up and hopes his guy gets it. Dude had eye surgery this offseason, for God's sake, man. Tom Brady makes smart plays. That's why he is still a good quarterback at the age he is at. He has football smarts. He understands and reads the game better than any other quarterback in the NFL. And that's why he is so lethal. Sure, he can't throw as many deep bombs as he used to. Sure, most of his passes are like 5-yard checkdowns and screens, but here's the thing. This is still a major upgrade for the Buccaneers. Jameis Winston, not the answer. But I never thought I would see the day where I would see Tom Brady in a uniform other than the New England Patriots. It looks so weird seeing him in that Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniform. And it really doesn't even feel like a reality. And I'm not even a Bucs fan, but it is a reality. I think it's hard for the whole sports world to even believe that he's no longer a Patriot and that he's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all teams. But, it makes sense. He's got a family. He's got kids. He wanted to stay on the East Coast. Tampa's a great spot. They have a great receiving core. Excellent receiving core. You have Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Ronald Jones. Look, the Bucs have an elite receiving core. They just didn't have the quarterback to deliver. But now they do. And that's why the Buccaneers now are tied for the third favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. To win it! This is a team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2007, and now they're third favorites to win the Super Bowl. This is what happens when you get a good quarterback on this team. The only concern for Bucs fans, obviously, is the fact that the offensive line for Tampa sucks. And there's concern and worry that Tom Brady isn't going to have any time at all to make plays and that he's going to get tackled too much and he'll get hurt as a result of it. But if Tampa can put some pieces together and fix their offensive line, the Bucs are contenders for the first time in over a decade. So it's honestly just crazy. But, I think I'm still in just as much shock as everybody else is. If I was a Bucs fan, I live in Tampa, right? We all know this. I have a lot of friends who are Buccaneers fans, and they are losing their shit over this. They are literally pissing their pants every single time that they see a picture of Tom Brady in a Buccaneers uniform. They are excited as hell for the GOAT to be a Buc. And so, I'm excited for the Buccaneers because I've grown up with them being my hometown team. I've never, cheered for them. My blood's from Kansas City. I gotta stay true to my Chiefs. But look, the Buccaneers, I've always liked the Buccaneers as a team simply because hometown. I always thought their uniforms were badass, regardless of what anybody says. The whole theme, Raymond James Stadium, it has a freaking pirate ship in it. The whole Buccaneers theme, it fits with the city of Tampa so well. And there's a lot that I like about the Buccaneers. And so it's really exciting for me to see a person like Tom Brady go to the Buccaneers. But here's the thing, right? The Super Bowl this season is being played in Tampa, right? No team has ever reached the Super Bowl when their stadium is hosting it. So can Tom Brady be the first? Can he lead the Bucs to a Super Bowl in Tampa? It's hard to say. But what I love about this, right, is the Chiefs play the Buccaneers every 4 years. The Chiefs play in Tampa every 8 years. Well, this next season just so happens to be that 8th year. So the Chiefs are playing in Tampa for the first time since 2012. And, obviously I had already planned on going to that game, regardless of when it was or whenever, just because I get to see my favorite team 25 minutes down the road from my house. Now that matchup has just gotten that much more exciting. I finally get to see Tom Brady play in person. And for the first time in 8 years, I get to see my team play in Tampa. And I'm hoping I get to see my team play in Tampa twice this year. In fact, I would love nothing more than to see the Chiefs play the Buccaneers twice this year. I cannot tell you how much of a dream it would be to see a Chiefs versus Buccaneers Super Bowl in Tampa. If that happens, I could die happily. And it's a possibility now because Tom Brady is a Buccaneer. But, we're going to get to see Brees versus Brady twice a year. We're going to get to see Mahomes versus Brady this year. It's going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. Tom Brady is now in the NFC. And what this means is that the AFC is for the Chiefs to lose now. The Chiefs are now the top dogs in the AFC. And they likely will be for many, many years down the road, which is so exciting. I cannot tell you how exciting it is to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan at this time. But yeah, that's it, guys. With that being said, this is my breakdown on the NFL free agency. I hope you enjoyed. It sucks having all this coronavirus bullshit going around and around, but I'll tell you what, it won't last forever. Sports will come back eventually. You know, I just hope this all dies down by the time the NFL season gets here, because this is supposed to be one of the greatest NFL seasons in years. Honestly, this is scheduled to be an incredible NFL season, and I am so excited for it. I hope nothing gets postponed or anything, because that would suck. No baseball till mid-May at the earliest. NBA and NHL are on pause for at least 8 weeks. That's 2 months. Everything about this whole coronavirus thing just sucks. Man, everything sucks. But you gotta remember, it won't last forever. We'll get through this. So stay safe, y'all. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are on this crackhead free agency, and I'll see you in the next video.